Right now, if your front lawn boasts, like, the greenest, most lush, fastest-growing grass on your entire block, well, you might actually be sitting on a $10,000 ticking time bomb of raw sewage.
Yeah, that is definitely not the kind of curb appeal anyone actually wants.
Right. Welcome to the deep dive.
Okay.
Let's unpack this. Today, we're kind of bypassing the usual home improvement topics and going, well, straight underground.
Way underground.
Exactly. We were looking into the completely hidden, highly sensitive biological wilderness buried right in your backyard. I'm talking about your septic system.
Oh, the glamorous stuff.
The very glamorous stuff.
Yeah.
But we're pulling from some really eye-opening excerpts from The Essential Guide to Septic Maintenance and Prevention, which also highlights a preventative product called SEPTIFIX. And our mission today is really to uncover why our modern lifestyle is silently waging war on this underground world.
Which it absolutely is.
Yeah, and we want to figure out how flipping our perspective, from just basic plumbing to actual biology, can save you a massive amount of money.
It's so true. I mean, the irony is that we obsess over smart thermostats and, high-tech appliances, yet the most complex system on the property is entirely biological.
Right. It's just dirt and microbes.
Exactly. It's the ultimate out-of-sight, out-of-mind trap. But the moment you start viewing that buried tank through the lens of biological science rather than just, mechanical plumbing, the stakes of your daily habits become incredibly clear.
Yeah, because I think we all know the basic premise of how a house handles waste. Like, water goes down the pipes, it sits in a tank, and eventually filters out into the dirt.
The general idea people have, yeah.
But what truly surprised me was learning about the sheer fragility of the biology happening inside that tank. I think it's helpful to think of a healthy septic tank, not as like a concrete holding box, but as a giant mechanical stomach buried in your yard.
That is a really great way to look at it.
Because it takes in whatever you feed it, right?
Yep.
But it relies completely on good gut flora, those billions of naturally occurring bacteria, to actually digest and process the waste.
Right. What's fascinating here is how that microscopic workforce is doing literally all the heavy lifting.
Wow.
Yeah, when wastewater enters the tank, it's this volatile, really complex mix of solids, liquids, proteins, and fats.
Just everything from the house?
Everything. And the bacteria synthesize specific enzymes to dismantle these complex molecules at a cellular level.
So they're literally eating it.
They are. You have proteases breaking down proteins, celluloses targeting the toilet paper, and lipases going after all the fats and cooking oil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they physically consume the solid organic waste. Meanwhile, the clarified liquid, which is known in the industry as effluent.
Effluent, right.
Right, it separates and flows out into the drain field to be naturally filtered by the soil.
And if that gut flora is thriving, the whole operation is, well, it's practically invisible.
Completely silent.
You never smell it, you never hear a gurgle in the pipes, you just live your life. But that balance is shockingly delicate. I mean, I think a lot of us assume that because it's processing literal human waste, the environment inside the tank must be this robust, indestructible, toxic wasteland.
Oh, absolutely not. It's actually the exact opposite.
Really?
Yeah, these bacterial colonies are highly sensitive to sudden environmental shifts. A healthy tank maintains a very specific internal temperature and a finely tuned pH level. It operates like a bioreactor. So if you drastically alter the chemistry of the incoming water, the bacterial colonies undergo massive, rapid die-offs.
Oh, wow. So they just die immediately.
They do. And a tank without active bacteria isn't a water treatment plant anymore. It's just a concrete box rapidly filling up with toxic sludge.
Okay, so if the tank is a sensitive bioreactor, our modern household routines are basically launching daily airstrikes on it.
Daily airstrikes is a good way to put it.
Just looking at the sheer volume and the intense chemical makeup of what goes down the drain today, compared to even 30 or 40 years ago, is wild.
Oh, it's completely different now.
Like, we're running back-to-back laundry cycles with hyper-concentrated detergents, throwing non-flushable wipes down the toilet.
Oh, wipes are the worst.
Yeah, and rinsing heavy cooking greases right into the sink.
Right, and the volume of water alone is a massive stressor.
Really, just the water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you decide to do, say, 5 heavy loads of laundry on a Saturday afternoon, you are flooding the tank.
I do that all the time.
Most people do.
Yeah.
But that creates intense hydraulic turbulence, which actually prevents the solid waste from settling down to the bottom.
Oh, so it just swirls around.
Exactly. And even worse, it flushes the beneficial bacteria straight out into the drain field before they even have a chance to multiply and digest the solids.
Okay, wait. I want to play devil's advocate for a second here. Because if you look under your kitchen sink or in your bathroom cabinet right now, you probably have half a dozen products specifically designed to protect your family from germs, right?
Right, of course.
Antibacterial hand soaps, heavy bleach-based toilet bowl cleaners, harsh shower sprays. Are you saying the exact things we use to keep our homes squeaky clean and safe for our kids are actually creating a toxic ground zero for our plumbing?
Yes, it is the ultimate paradox of modern home hygiene.
That is crazy.
We are utterly obsessed with sterilizing our indoor environments. But, a bleach tablet sitting in your toilet bowl doesn't just magically neutralize the moment you hit the flush handle.
Right, it goes somewhere.
Exactly. Its sole chemical purpose is to rupture the cell walls of bacteria on contact.
Oh.
And it rides that wave of water straight into the underground tank and just continues doing its job, which is indiscriminately annihilating the beneficial gut flora your system actually relies on to function.
So we are essentially sending biological weapons down the drain on a daily basis.
Without a doubt. And it goes far beyond just bleach, too.
What else is doing it?
Well, modern liquid laundry detergents, for one, they contain powerful surfactants and enzymes designed to strip heavy grease out of clothes, but they also drastically alter the pH of the wastewater.
Oh, right. You mentioned pH earlier.
Yeah, when the water inside the tank becomes highly alkaline or too acidic, the bacteria enter shock and cannot reproduce.
Man.
Add in leftover latex paint rinsed off a brush or antibacterial dish soap used multiple times a day, and you are creating a hostile aquatic environment where those waste-digesting microbes simply cannot survive.
Okay, so we actively nuke the bacteria with our Sunday cleaning routine, and then we flood the tank with more water and heavy waste than it can physically hold.
That's the recipe for disaster, yeah.
If the bacteria are dead, the solid waste obviously doesn't just evaporate. What is actually building up in that tank while we're, blissfully unaware watching TV in the living room?
Well, the physics of the tank immediately begin to work against you at that point. Without the bacteria actively consuming and digesting the material, the incoming waste stratifies into distinct, really problematic layers.
Layers of what?
It's based on specific gravity. So the heavy organic solids sink to the bottom, forming this dense, hardening layer known as sludge.
Yuck.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the lighter materials, fats, oils, greases, and chemical soap residue, they float to the surface.
Right, like oil and water.
Exactly. And they congeal together to create a thick, rubbery crust called the scum layer.
Okay, but that leaves the clear liquid safely squeezed in the middle, right?
For a short period, yes.
Uh-oh.
But because the bacteria aren't there to eat the sludge or break down the scum, those layers just constantly expand.
They just keep growing.
The sludge piles up higher and higher from the bottom, and the scum crust thickens from the top down.
Wow.
So that middle zone, the clear effluent, which is the only liquid that can safely flow out to the drain field, it shrinks. Eventually, the tank simply runs out of functional volume.
And when the volume is completely gone, the untreated sludge and the congealed grease just get forced out of the tank and straight into the drain field pipes.
Which is a catastrophic structural failure.
I can imagine.
The drain field is this carefully engineered network of perforated pipes buried in gravel and soil. It's designed exclusively to absorb clear, treated liquid.
Not rubbery scum.
Definitely not. When thick biological sludge and grease enter those narrow pipes, they clog the tiny perforations.
Right.
The sludge pushes into the surrounding soil and forms a dense biological crust, creating a literal waterproof barrier. The liquid literally cannot drain into the earth anymore.
So the wastewater takes the path of least resistance. It backs up.
It backs up right into your house.
Oh, this is when the undeniable warning signs hit the homeowner, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. Inside the house, you get the dreadfully slow flushing toilets.
The worst.
You start hearing that sinister bubbling or gurgling sound in the shower drain when the washing machine is running.
Oh, I've heard that.
And, of course, the unmistakable smell of raw sewer gas wafting up from the kitchen sink.
Wow. So why the gurgling? What is that?
That gurgling sound is highly specific. It is actually trapped methane and hydrogen sulfide gases trying to vent backward into your home plumbing.
Oh, gross.
Because the primary underground exit is entirely blocked by sludge.
Man. Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Going back to what we said at the very beginning about the outside warning signs.
Right.
Like, it's one thing to smell rotten eggs in the yard or accidentally step in a puddle of standing foul-smelling water.
Which is awful on its own.
But the paradox of having ultra-green grass over the drain field is mind-blowing.
It really is.
You could be standing on your porch, looking out at your yard, feeling incredibly proud that you have the most lush, vividly bright green, fast-growing grass on your entire street.
Thinking you're a master gardener.
Right. Completely unaware that it's only growing that fast because raw, untreated human sewage has saturated the topsoil and is acting as a hyperpotent toxic fertilizer.
Yeah, industry professionals actually refer to that as silent damage.
Silent damage, wow.
Grass doesn't turn that vividly green overnight. By the time you notice that unnatural hyper-fertilized growth, or worse, by the time you actually see pooling water on the surface,
It's too late.
it's way too late. The microscopic failure inside the tank has been cascading for months, maybe even years.
Unbelievable.
The biological collapse is already complete, and the physical infrastructure is entirely compromised.
Which raises a glaring question about human behavior, honestly.
Oh, psychology is a huge part of this.
Right. Because if you start hearing a gurgling pipe or catching whiffs of sewer gas while you brush your teeth, why do we let it escalate to the point where the front yard is essentially a biohazard?
Well, psychology plays a massive role in system failures. Humans are profoundly averse to dealing with waste.
Well, that's gross.
It is deeply uncomfortable. So if a toilet still manages to flush, even if it takes 10 seconds longer than usual and makes a strange noise.
You just pretend it's fine.
Exactly. The overwhelming temptation is to pretend everything is perfectly fine.
It's the old, if I ignore it, maybe it will fix itself strategy.
We all do it.
We cross our fingers and just look the other way.
We live in a state of denial because calling a professional feels expensive and invasive.
Definitely.
But when the symptoms become undeniable, like a sink that won't drain at all, denial turns into panic.
And panic is never good.
Never. Panic leads homeowners to the worst possible reactive habits.
Right. The quick fix trap. Instead of dealing with the root biological cause, we plug in chemical air fresheners in the bathroom to mask the odor.
Yep.
Or we just stand there and flush the toilet 3 extra times, hoping brute hydraulic force will push the phantom clog away.
But the most destructive reaction, by far, is the inevitable trip to the hardware store.
Oh no, the chemicals.
Exactly. Homeowners will buy a massive jug of industrial-strength, highly corrosive chemical drain cleaner.
And just pour it in.
They dump the entire gallon down the sluggish sink, hoping to magically dissolve the problem.
Knowing what we know now about the tank's fragile microbiome, that sounds like absolute madness.
Is the absolute worst thing you could do.
Because you're pouring a highly exothermic, boiling chemical compound into a system that is already failing, specifically because it lacks biological life.
You're just speeding up the collapse.
It's like trying to fix a broken arm by putting a Band-Aid on it while actively poisoning the patient at the exact same time.
That is exactly what it is. You are eradicating whatever tiny fraction of the microscopic workforce is still left alive down there.
Man.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it exposes how poorly our natural human instincts align with biological systems.
What do you mean?
Well, human nature defaults to aggressive emergency intervention.
Right. We want to fix it now.
We wait for a crisis to peak, and then we attack it with heavy-duty chemicals and force. But a living microbiome doesn't respond to aggression.
That makes sense.
It requires consistency, balance, and supportive maintenance.
And the financial fallout of that aggression is just staggering.
Oh, it's ruinous.
The data clearly shows that ignoring the slow drains and constantly dumping harsh chemicals doesn't just lead to a minor weekend repair bill. You're looking at total irreversible drain field failure.
Yep. You are bringing in heavy diesel excavators.
In your yard.
In your yard. They have to rip up your landscaping, remove tons of biologically contaminated soil, haul it away, and install entirely new underground infrastructure.
Which is not cheap.
You are easily talking thousands and in many cases tens of thousands of dollars.
Okay, so reactive chemical warfare is clearly off the table.
Done.
If we want to avoid funding a major excavation project in our yards, what is the actual scientifically sound approach to maintaining this giant underground stomach? Like, how do we keep the flora happy and hungry?
It requires adopting the proactive habits of smart homeowners.
Okay, break that down for us.
First, you have to drastically reduce the chemical load. Swap the heavy bleach and the industrial antibacterial cleaners for microbiome-friendly, biodegradable alternatives.
Make peace with the bacteria, stop bombing them.
Exactly. Second, manage the hydraulic load. Stagger your water usage. Don't do all your laundry on one day.
Spread it out.
Spread it out so the tank has time to let solids settle.
Got it.
Third, stick to a regular professional pumping schedule. No amount of good biology prevents the eventual buildup of completely indigestible inorganic material, like microplastics or dirt.
Right, they can't eat plastic.
No, they can't. A professional still needs to physically empty the tank every 3 to 5 years.
Okay, and the fourth habit.
The fourth habit brings us to preventative treatments, specifically the role of a product like SEPTIFIX.
Right, which we saw in the source material.
Yes, this is where the underlying science gets really cool.
Okay, tell me.
It is presented as a preventative solution, a solid tablet you just flush down the toilet once a month.
Okay, but a lot of products claim to add bacteria to your tank.
They do. But the key differentiator here seems to be oxygen.
Oxygen. Why does oxygen matter to a sealed tank buried under 3 feet of solid dirt?
To understand why the oxygen is the game changer, you have to look at the atmospheric state of a typical neglected tank.
Okay.
When a tank is overloaded with waste and sealed underground, it quickly becomes a highly anaerobic environment, meaning it is entirely depleted of dissolved oxygen.
And anaerobic bacteria are the ones responsible for that horrific fermenting sewer gas smell we talked about earlier, right?
Yes, exactly. Anaerobic bacteria can survive without oxygen, but they are incredibly slow, lethargic, and really inefficient at digesting solid organic waste.
They're just lazy.
They are. And a natural byproduct of their sluggish metabolism is hydrogen sulfide.
The rotten egg smell.
The rotten eggs and methane. They barely make a dent in the heavy sludge layer.
So how does dropping a flushable tablet into the toilet change the atmosphere of a 1,000-gallon underground tank? That sounds impossible.
Well, the chemical mechanism is actually quite clever. When the tablet reacts with the water in the tank, it utilizes slow-release oxygenating compounds like sodium percarbonate. As it dissolves, it releases microscopic oxygen bubbles directly into the liquid effluent over a sustained period.
Oh, wow.
This continuous release fundamentally alters the environment from anaerobic to aerobic.
So you are basically changing the playground so a much better, faster class of bacteria can thrive.
Precisely. Aerobic bacteria, which strictly require oxygen to survive, are vastly more aggressive and highly efficient at consuming organic waste than their anaerobic counterparts.
That makes total sense.
They metabolize the fats, proteins, and cellulose at a substantially higher rate, and crucially, they do it without producing volatile, foul-smelling gases.
Wow.
Yeah. By introducing oxygen, you are effectively supercharging the digestion process by providing the optimal atmospheric condition underwater.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the homeowner listening to this right now? Like, is dropping a single tablet into the toilet once a month really a magical, impenetrable shield against a $10,000 repair?
We definitely have to stay grounded in reality here.
Well,
if your drain field is already crusted over with an impenetrable biological biomat, and the pipes are physically backing up into your shower, a tablet cannot reverse structural ruin.
preventative treatments are not a substitute for a backhoe if the system is already dead.
Exactly. It can't magically undo a decade of pouring bleach, paint, and hot bacon grease down the drain.
Yeah, no time machines here.
It cannot. But as a proactive, ongoing measure, it acts as a vital monthly support mechanism.
That's the key.
Instead of waiting for a catastrophic failure and attacking the plumbing with harsh chemicals, you are continuously restocking the microscopic workforce.
And giving them the oxygen they need.
Right, providing the dissolved oxygen they need to operate at peak efficiency. It is working in harmony with the underlying biology, ensuring the sludge is rapidly processed before it ever has the chance to overflow and destroy the drain field.
It really comes down to the difference between, like, taking a daily vitamin to support your health versus waiting until you have a severe deficiency and rushing to the emergency room.
That is the perfect analogy.
Looking back at everything we've uncovered today, it's wild how our perspective completely shifts.
It really does.
We went from seeing this dumb concrete box to understanding this incredibly complex, fragile, oxygen-hungry ecosystem that lives right under the grass.
It's an entire world down there.
Yeah. And by just tweaking our cleaning habits, being mindful of the water we use, and giving that biology a little monthly support, we completely bypass the nightmare of raw sewage and heavy excavators.
Which is a huge relief.
Being well-informed about the hidden biological mechanics of our homes doesn't just save a massive amount of money, it is the ultimate peace of mind.
It truly is, and it leaves you with an interesting parallel to consider.
What's that?
Well, think about how meticulously we curate our own bodies today.
Oh, yeah.
We take daily probiotic supplements, we drink kombucha, we actively eat fermented foods, all to thoughtfully nurture the delicate microbiome in our own guts.
Right. Gut health is huge right now.
Exactly. Yet we blindly flush biological chemical weapons into the massive living microbiome buried right in our own backyards. Wow.
It makes you wonder, What other hidden ecosystems in our homes or our daily environments are we unknowingly destroying in our relentless modern quest for absolute sterility?